First question is, tell me about yourself. First off, my name is Christopher Nolan. I'm a business student at the Fox Business School at Temple University. I would say that I'm a persevering individual. What I mean by that is that I get the job done. Whenever I'm faced with an issue, I'm always able to get over it and move on. At my last job at a pizzeria, I was the newest employee hired, and I got a lot of grief from the current employees there. I was always put down because I wasn't up to speed yet. Instead of helping me out, they just made fun of me. They always said, "Oh, look, at the new kid's struggling," or "Look, newbie can't even take a simple phone order." To be perfectly honest, it was true. I had never had a job before this one, so I really had no idea what I was up against. Working in a pizzeria was harder than I would have ever expected. I was hoping for just a nice weekend job where I could make some extra cash on the weekends just for gas or whatever other expenses I had. What I wasn't expecting was a rather challenging job and a challenging atmosphere. Took it upon myself to get over these humps, however. After only a couple of weeks of working there, I soon became the best server that the restaurant had. I did this by memorizing the entire menu and the price listings to make the service quicker and to just enhance the overall experience and service for the customer. I was able to persevere from all the negativity that my coworkers had been giving me and actually become better than they were at their own job. I really would have to thank them for the negativity because it actually helped me be more persevering overall, which in turn helps me get ahead in the real world as well as in the work world. By taking the initiative and being an activist in my workplace, I was able to be the best and rise above every other server in the restaurant. Before I came to college, they were all in awe of me because of how much better I was than them and how much better I made the restaurant and all of the money I was making because I just took the time to care about the customers and actually care about their needs. The second question is, tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life. As I mentioned in the previous question, I was a server at a pizza place. I was considered the best server in the establishment and took great pride in that fact. A significant accomplishment was bringing the sales up. Shop's business had been declining over the past few months, and really years, because of the recession before I arrived there. So, our boss, seeing that I was the best, empowered me to take the other employees under my wing and to go out and advertise and do whatever it took to bring in more business. Luckily for me, many of my coworkers actually worked at the same high school, or went to the same high school rather, that I did, and so we decided to bring up the business at school with all our friends. We went to the principal and asked if we could set up posters and flyers around the school to promote an open mic night at the restaurant the following week. The principal allowed it and said that was probably a really good idea. The next step is getting my boss to catch on to the idea. At the pizzeria, we had a low power distance operation. This means basically our boss was one of us. He was always out there with us, and he was always just talking to the customers and talking with us to try and get as much feedback as possible in order to propel his business into greater profits and such. Since he was an outgoing, just good-fellowed kind of person in general, I figured it'd be absolutely no issue in trying to convince him to have an open mic night. I was correct. He thought it would be a great idea and told me to start sending out those flyers. Myself, as well as the other employees, went about making posters and flyers and everything and just putting them up around school and handing them out and making sure that everyone could see them. I also went to the ever so faithful Facebook and created an event for the Friday after the game opener or home game opener and just told everyone open mic night at the pizzeria. I invited everyone that I knew. The open mic night turned out to be a huge success, and I convinced my boss to do it every other week just to bring in more profits. He said, great idea. I also told him that since the weekends were generally when we got most business, we should try an open mic night on the weekdays when we don't usually have as much business. He said, wonderful idea. Turns out we got even more business, so it was a great idea. The third question is, tell me about something you have learned in class. While being here at Temple so far, one of the first classes I've taken was a leadership and organizational management class. One of the main things we focused on, and that I remember from the class, was business strategy. 3 things involved in business strategy are values, vision, and mission. Values are what you or your business stands for or believes in. One thing we discussed in class was that everyone involved in the business must have the same shared values, or else business is just going to fall apart. We watched a clip from a movie about Steve Jobs and Apple and how much like a family the employees there are. They all have the same shared values, and the company basically just runs extremely well. I mean, look at the company's success to this date. It is easily one of the top companies in the world and one of the most successful companies out there. Vision is what we aspire to be. If a company doesn't have a vision of what it wants to be in the future, then it's not going to be a competitor in the field. Look at Apple once again. Back when Apple was first starting and going up against PCs, Steve Jobs had a long, hard road ahead of him, and he knew it. But he had a vision of what he wanted. He wanted user-friendly machines that everyone would want to use, and he aspired his company to be at the top. It hasn't reached the pinnacle quite yet, but I would say that it's easily one of the top, if not the top, companies out there now, and especially in the technological world. Mission are what we define as what we do. Apple's mission is clearly becoming the best. They're succeeding in their mission, if I do say so myself. My mission is to become the top employer for companies. I want to be the guy that every company is after, and when graduation's coming around, I want to be that guy that has a job, plenty of job offers waiting for me. My values: work hard, do what is right, and help others. I want to be involved in a company that not only is one of the top companies out there, but I want a great atmosphere and great people. I don't want to work with people who are shallow and just only care about themselves. Team players are crucial to a working environment and a working business, and I always look out for the best interest for everyone. My vision: one day become the CEO of a top company in the world. I want to own it, I want to be responsible for it, and I just want to control it. I feel as if I have the skills to do so.